Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, thanks. Happy New Year to everyone. Nice to see you. My name is Lynn. I work here as the Director of Admissions and Marketing. I'd like to thank you guys very much for coming in this morning. I know I got here a few hours ago, and the weather was great. I don't know what you encountered on your way in. We are very happy to host this event again this year, and thankful you were all able to make it this morning. So thank you. I'd like to give a shout out to our community as well for the work that they put into this, and our chef, who I don't see here, but the chef made all this for us, so it was nice to borrow him for a few hours. What we known in the biz as a SNF, which is a skilled nursing facility. So we specialize in short-term rehab, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and we also have a pool for aquatic therapy. A lot of my colleagues are in the building right now. I hope some of you guys have met them. They are here. If you have any questions, you want to take a tour, please ask one of us. We'd be happy to show you around. And lastly, we have a lot of leftover food, so please don't be shy. Go back. Well, we have Mr. Alan Campbell in the building today. He's going to MC our event. I met him this morning. He was very nice. He said I could go off his bio, or I could make a few things up about him. So, yeah. So the fun part is I'm not going to tell you what we did. So, oh no, I'm just kidding. So he was born in Toronto, Canada, and before he became a journalist, he worked on a cruise ship for 6 years. He traveled all over the world. He's a huge hockey fan. Hopefully it's the Wings. Yes, okay. And enjoys golfing and hanging out on the beach on his days off. He came to Detroit from Texas, where he was a morning anchor for 4 years and has covered a wide variety of stories. He's won several Texas AP awards for his work and was nominated for an Emmy. Before going to Texas, he worked in Charleston, South Carolina, and was the morning reporter fill-in anchor for 3 years. In addition, he was covered many stories from American Idol auditions to the first Dreamliner being built to tropical storms. So thank you, and help me in welcoming Mr. Campbell.
All right, thank you very much, Lynn. So good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Okay, just so everyone knows, I do work at Channel 7. I'm a reporter anchor, not the weather person, so if you have any complaints about the weather, you can tell me and I'll pass them along. I'll be the middleman, but it is great to be here. I just moved here from South Texas, so when I say South Texas, I mean 6 miles from Mexico. So the temperature there this morning was a calm and balmy 86 degrees. So, are you really? Oh, fantastic. So, nothing. I don't miss South Texas at all right now. But it is a pleasure to be here. And a lot of people always ask me, you worked on cruise ships for 6 years after you graduated from high school. Why did you decide to get in journalism? And to be honest with you, I really had no idea what I wanted to do with my life after high school. My sisters graduated with master's degrees, and they ended up becoming, camp counselors and did whatever they wanted to do, what they felt they were most comfortable with. So I said, well, I like to have a good time, and I want to travel the world. So I did that for 6 years. I was the sports director for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. I was in charge of installing all those big rock climbing walls on the ships and the ice skating rinks and the surf machines. And, after 6 years of traveling the world, this is going to sound really weird. I kind of got bored of it. So a gentleman came on the ship. He works for TSN, which is the equivalent of ESPN in Canada for the Toronto Raptors. And he said, "Hey, Alan, why don't you become a sportscaster? You seem to know a lot about sports." And I said, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. Some random stranger just told me, hey, go and do this. So I called my parents up the next day. I said, guess what? I'm going to go to college. I'm going to be a sportscaster, and that's it. And they said, how did you figure that out? I said, some random guy, I don't even know his name, told me I should do it, so I'm going to do it. And they actually bet on it. They said, I'll bet you $20 you're not going to do that. And I said, you know what, let's double it. Let's do 40. And sure enough, here I am today. I transferred from sports into news because, a lot of people know everything about sports. Doesn't matter what kind of story you tell, it's always the wrong one. Somebody knows something different. But in news, when you tell a story, no one can tell the same story you did. It could be the same topic, but it'll definitely be a different story. So that's why I switched over to news. And Being here in Detroit, it's been an unbelievable experience. I mean, I've been able to tell some of the most incredible stories from some of the most incredible people, the amazing communities here in Metro Detroit. Real quickly, one of my most memorable stories is when I first moved here, probably 2.5 months after I started, there was a young boy named Jacob O'Connor, and he had finished watching this movie called San Andreas that starred Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And he was watching this movie, and his little brother had gone outside. He didn't know where his brother was or what he was doing, and he went outside and found his brother face down in the pool. And he was pretty much dead. And he went out there and rescued him by doing CPR that he learned from the movie San Andreas with The Rock. So we did this story, and nonetheless, The Rock found out about it, and he sent out this big message on Twitter. Nonetheless, The Rock flew him and his family out to his movie set in Vancouver for his new movie called Skyscraper, and was able to meet him. So if anybody here wants to meet a celebrity, just let me know and I can hook you up somehow, okay? But that was one of my favorite stories that I've done so far here, and it just shows you, the impact of news and how far news can really stretch and go across the world. But again, it's a pleasure to be here tonight, or excuse me, this morning. I just woke up. I've only had 1 cup of coffee. And it's an honor to introduce this next gentleman. I've got some inside scoop right now from an inside source that this next man will be running for Congress in 2018. It hasn't been leaked out yet to the press, so we got to keep it in here to this room. But it's a great pleasure right now to introduce to you Senator Mike Kowal. Senator Kowal.
There was something I thought I liked about you. It's a Canadian. My family's been in Canada since Cartier. So they landed in Bathurst, New Brunswick, and then the Polish side came over after the Second World War. So we have my sister's a TV producer in Toronto. We have a lot of connections and family. Matter of fact, there's no tombstones of any Kowals here. They're all in Canada. So it just kind of gives you a general idea where we're from. But the Canadian side, we're southeastern Michigan, especially the Detroit area, is southern Ontario. We're back and forth. There's so much exchange. It's exciting, and it's really gratifying to see two countries get along as well as we do. But I'm not here to talk about Canada. There's a lot of good things going on. Michigan has really stepped up. We are the comeback state. We have gone from 2010, when the governor and I first really met, and I was made chair of economic development, and I was told that we had enough money to run the state for 35 minutes. And I said, okay, and he turned to me and he says, Mike, well, you're chair of economic development. What are you going to do about it? Well, I think that right now we have almost $1 billion in our rainy day fund, or revolving fund. We're seeing companies move into Michigan, but best of all, we're seeing young people, they're not leaving like they were. They're staying here, they're moving back, and they're moving back from places like California, Texas, all over the country, and a lot of it's due to the autonomous vehicles that we're doing. I wrote all the bills for the autonomous and connected vehicles, and there's $1 billion new dollars. It's $1 billion of new money coming into Willow Run. And that was an area that was really run down. It was, the companies all left. It was in bad shape. And you can tell just by going there and talking to the little credit union across the street, to the party stores, to the other businesses around, there's a real buzz, a real excitement to see what's going on with the Center for Mobility. And Michigan is back. We're #1 in manufacturing again. Michigan is back as far as being surprisingly, we're one of the biggest ag states in the country. There's a lot of good things going on. But we can do all this great stuff up in Lansing, but what we rely on is people like yourselves, business people, local units of government, and mostly the judges that are here. And I'm going to introduce Diane D'Agostini here in a second. And I was given a list of things that she's done, her accomplishments, but most of us know her and appreciate the good work she's been doing. And one thing I just learned, she's a Mercy girl. And Mercy High School in Farmington Hills is where my sister, my daughter, my nieces, a lot of the young ladies in our family went there, and they got a really good basic education from Our Lady of Mercy. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Diane D'Agostini.
I would have looked up your daughters. Of course, you know, I'm their age, right? Good morning, everyone. Alan, listen, I'm a hockey mom, so that gives me credit, right? Yeah. So George Clooney, make it happen. And sure, there's other ladies here that might be interested in that lunch, so, you know. Good morning to all of you. I'm really happy to be here again. I have to tell you that the ladies will appreciate this. So it's raining, it's terrible, it's dark outside, and of course the umbrella in my car is from like 1960. Don't you love it? Whenever you reach for that umbrella and you're like, where's my good umbrella? And of course you think, my daughter took my good umbrella. So anyways, I like coming here because this is always a very positive, happy and energetic group, and Senator Kowal, he's a good friend and a great leader and public servant, and he's done so much for our state. So thank you for the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, today I give the oath to the members of the group, and that's always a great thing for me to do, is when I administer the oath. I do it in a variety of places, with a variety of groups, but it's always nice because, you know, that's your opportunity to ask people to swear to do their job and to do it faithfully. I will tell you that my family is made up of small business owners, so I have great respect for the local business community. You bring so much to, obviously, the community, to families, to individuals, and I think just because I see my extended family and their businesses and what they do, I see the impact that you have from a positive way. I also see some of the things that happen to businesses in the courtroom. You know, for instance, some of the cases that I see on a probably daily basis, I see business owners or individuals come in victimized by crime. You know, businesses, identity theft, embezzlement, fraud, NSF checks. And I want to tell all of you, because a lot of people just don't know, when a person is convicted of a crime and it impacts a business or an individual, please know that I make it my life's mission, quite frankly, to get the restitution back to you. So that means if you've been embezzled by $10,000, or somebody passed a bad check, or somebody stole identity or hurt you or broke a window in your store, please know that you have rights. And a part of those rights is to know what's happening in the court system. I get saddened and frustrated when some people say they had no idea what happened, you know, to the person that committed this crime. And I always ask, well, did you ask for restitution? Did you get your money back? And sometimes it's not their fault, they just don't know. So I know it's a small group, but I just want all of you to know that that is your right. If you've ever been victimized by crime, to come into court, I look for you. I always ask if you're there, because I want to know how any crime impacts you as an individual or as a business. And if it involves money or destruction of property, I really work hard to get it back for you. I can tell you in the last few years, we've collected over $100,000 in restitution. And sometimes it's small amounts, sometimes it's large amounts. And let me tell you, the defendants don't want to pay, but you have to make it a part of the sentence, and you have to really encourage them with everything that you can do as a judge to pay that. And there are, you know, various ways you can encourage people to do that. So please know what, you know, your rights are, to follow a case through as a crime victim, as a business owner, because you bring so much to the community, and you should be protected. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to administer the oath, so I will now call up the board. We'll start off with the executive committee. Deb Spencer, Stacy Zatkovich, Clara Borer, Tim Ferris, and Jennifer Butterfield. Our supervisor Kaplan just walked in. Good morning, Mr. Kaplan. We also have our officer from West Bloomfield over there, Kurt Lawson, and Terry from West Bloomfield as well, Terry Weingarten. On the general board, we will call Rick Anthony. Rick, is Rick here this morning? Linda Charter, Wendy Kulf, Pam Dover, David Barish, Eric Glick, Shendy Hopkins, Robin Mastick, Shane Pliska, Romy Shubitowski, Angela Samuels, Kelly Woodley, Pam Sajak, Laura Nebler, and Vito Korkuru. My apologies. I should have known that. Wow, look at this group. It's a big group. Maybe I'll move over here. Okay, Suzanne? And so I'm going to ask you all to raise your right hands, please, and repeat after me. I do as an officer or director.
I do as officer or director.
Hereby swear or affirm.
Hereby swear or affirm.
That I will support the bylaws and mission.
That I will support the bylaws and mission.
Of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
Of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
I promise to be a responsible.
I promise to be a responsible.
Proactive advocate.
Proactive advocate.
Of business interests.
Of business interests.
In the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
And the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
I pledge to uphold our goal.
I pledge to uphold our goal.
To help businesses grow and prosper.
To help businesses grow and prosper.
While improving the quality of life.
While improving the quality of life.
In West Bloomfield.
In West Bloomfield.
I will faithfully implement.
I will faithfully implement.
The duties of my office.
The duties of my office.
As a member of the Greater West Bloomfield.
As a member of the Greater West Bloomfield
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce.
To the best of my ability throughout my term.
To the best of my ability throughout my term.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That's a good-looking group of board members, wouldn't you say? Yes, congratulations to all of you. Well, next I would like to introduce Deb Spencer. Now, let me give you a little bit of a biography on her. She came in late and said, you know, it's not that big. She wrote it up and it's a full page and a half. No, I'm kidding. It's just a page. So Deb was born in Detroit, Michigan. She's been a resident of West Bloomfield for 28 years. And listen to this. She's worked in the health industry for Henry Ford Health System for 32 years. Most recently as the Director of Clinical Operations at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. And her areas of responsibility include, but not limited to, emergency services, cardiovascular services, and trauma services. She received Master's Science of Nursing from U of D Mercy. Congratulations. Her passion is, of course, spending time with her family, which includes her husband, Jeff, her 3 daughters, and her 3 grandchildren. But she emphasized this to me today, that cooking is a very close second. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further of me talking, let's introduce Deb. Come on up here, Deb.
Good morning. I hope everybody is well. Well, I must admit that I am not as comfortable behind the microphone as the individuals who have spoken before me. So give me a real sick patient or a cardiac arrest and I'm all in. But nonetheless, I'm real honored guests, valued members of the Chamber, and all that are present here to support the West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. You know, thank you for taking the time to attend our 2018 installation ceremony. Additionally, please join me in acknowledging our event sponsor, Apnagar Home Care, our host, Notting Hill of West Bloomfield, along with their staff for making this such an awesome event, to Senator Mike Kowal, to Judge Diane D'Agostini, Alan Campbell from WXYZ-TV, and our CCTV team for their support of the event. It's really my distinct honor to continue my role as president of the Chamber of Commerce. I've been involved in the Chamber for the past 4 years, and I believe that it has an extremely bright future. If you look up our mission on our website, the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce is the voice of business for the Greater West Bloomfield area. That includes Sylvan Lake, Keego Harbor, and Orchard Lake. The Chamber is a diverse network of businesses and organizations throughout southeastern Michigan, and it's dedicated to bringing business and community together. I believe that the Chamber has lived up to this mission and then some. This is truly a team effort, and I'm only one link in the chain that lends to the success of this team. The comfort that I have is the support and the dedication of the Chamber officials. That includes our President-elect, Stacy Zokovich, our past president, Tim Ferris, our treasurer, Clara Bohr, our secretary, Jennifer Butterfield, and all the other board members here today that have been sworn in. And last but most importantly, our executive director, Suzanne Levine, who remains the heart and soul of this chamber. Suzanne has done an excellent job strengthening the chamber relationship with our township and our community, and she's been instrumental in leading the chamber in various programs which support and promote our membership and our community. Let's give these individuals a heartfelt round of applause. So 2017 was a terrific year for the Chamber, and I'd really like to highlight and celebrate some of our achievements. The SRG, or Senior Resource Group, is awesome. It's highly successful. This group is driven by Tim Ferris and Terry Weingarten, our Township Treasurer. We had the most successful leadership luncheon to date. Our guest speaker was Tom Wilson, who is President and CEO of Olympia Entertainment. Unfortunately, I missed the event because of a little water outage, but the feedback was that it was awesome. Our health and wellness fair was exceedingly successful. We had more participants requests than available space, so that's always a good thing, and hopefully we can find a larger venue for next year. Our next event is June 23rd. And finally, our annual Key to the Township Award Dinner that honors and celebrates the achievements of community members. Our next event is May 15th, and there's still time to nominate a deserving individual or a business for recognition. And you can go on the website, or you can talk with Suzanne after the event. But it really is, it's just an awesome event. So looking forward to 2018, I think one of the most interesting things that's coming down the pike here is that we're launching the newest chamber benefit, the BIG, or the Business Innovator Innovator Generator. This will provide ideas and actionable items to businesses to help them grow, so especially small businesses. Many business owners don't have the resources or the expertise to fully understand the many facets of owning and operating a business, and BIG will really fill this void. And its members are members of small businesses who really have that expertise and really can help guide individuals. So this initiative is being driven by one of our new members, Vito Kokuro from Vito Consultants, and Tim Ferris from Upstream Investment Partners. I have had the pleasure of living in this community for 28 years and really working in the community for over 30 years. What drew me to the community, as well as my husband, was the people, the diversity, the schools, the services, the parks, and the programs offered, just to name a few. My husband and I raised 3 beautiful daughters here. I'm proud to be a resident of this community, and I care deeply about its future. This is one of the reasons that I joined the Chamber of Commerce 4 years ago. I believe that serving one's community is of the utmost importance. I'm really blessed to work for the Henry Ford Health System, and especially my President and CEO, Lynn Tarosian. They're very much like-minded, and they really encourage us to really reach out into the community. There really are not enough words in the dictionary to describe the significance of giving back. Volunteering in all shapes and forms strengthens our communities, brings people together, and provides us with valuable experience and insight. When we give of our time and energy to others, we feel better about ourselves and about our community. In closing, the members and executive director of this chamber will be hard at work, utilizing our time and our energy within the community, spearheading new initiatives to improve West Bloomfield. Thank you for your attention, and have a great day. Thank you. Oh, okay.
Very quickly, I heard someone say that leadership is not words, but it's action and attitude. And Deb, your positive attitude, your idea to action, how you always inspire me, support me, encourage me, and how you jumped in. People don't know this, but at the last minute last year, Deb jumped in as president. And she didn't break a sweat, and that's probably due to her ER training. She probably enjoyed that whole crisis management issue. But seriously, on behalf of the chamber and myself, I'm so grateful to have you on our team and to have you as a president again in 2018. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, folks. Well, the good news is it's snowing outside. So, no, I'm kidding. It's actually come down pretty good right now, actually. Congratulations, Deb. Congratulations to all the board members. Here's to a 2018 very successful year here for West Bloomfield. I know that the chamber will be working very hard. Here's to new business. And thank you so much for watching Channel 7. And if you don't, make sure you tune in tonight at 5 o'clock. I'll be on there. Thank you, everyone. See you on the air.